So,
Yeah.
how much money do you think is good money? If I say I'm earning good money,
Yeah.
how much money would you think I'm making?
Well, what is good money? I think that question is completely irrelevant. It's probably not the right way to phrase it. I think what people really need to, or anybody really, is not say how much money you need to, what is good money, because that is so subjective. And I suppose there is some objective factors into that as well. But how much is really good money is really what do you want, what kind of lifestyle do you want? What is your life? Yeah. And really what I mean is what is your purpose, right? So, what do you want to do with your life? For someone, in UK terms, making, I don't know, £50,000 a year, that's a basic rate taxpayer, probably clearing somewhere between £2,500, £3,000 a month. Anywhere outside of London, you probably have a decent middle class lifestyle. Now, the same amount of money, being close to, say, central London, so if you're living, say, Oldgate, Liverpool Street, or a little bit out there, you're not going to get very far with £50,000. So all of a sudden, how much is good money, suggests that while there is a number that everybody needs to reach to that level, there's like, this is the number, £1 million is good.
Well, they say 70,000, isn't it? They say if you make 70,000,
well,
any more doesn't make you happier.
Well, consider the source though. You would have probably read that through some sort of a journalistic sort of sources, whether it's Guardian or something like that. These publications actually have a conflict of interest because what they're putting out there for you and I to read suggests that is a fact, but actually it's all for clickbait.
True.
And people like numbers when it comes to personal finance. People like to be told or like to be informed and like an objective number. This is the amount of money that if you have this number, you will be happy, right? But then they keep raising the bar all the time. And so that we know firsthand that, people that perhaps in the past have had made lots of money have gone on and committed suicide and different things like that, because money really is the lubricant or the fuel that powers your goals in life, your purposes in life. So there is no such thing as, what is a good level of money. However, from an objective stance, you need to make enough money that your lifestyle, in terms of your day-to-day monthly expenses, you have enough room coming in. And I'm talking about income anyway. You've got enough income coming in to sustain your current lifestyle and to be able to put some towards the future planning. So a portion of your income is allocated for your future self.
Or what about if you have enough money for a lifestyle, but it's not the lifestyle you want?
Right, so that's really a question of skills. That's really a question of income. So, if you're making a certain amount of money, but you can maintain your lifestyle now, but it's not the lifestyle that you want, then that's just really about you making more money. It's really increasing your income, right? And so, again, it's not so much about everyone needs to make so much money, 70k, 100k to be happy. It's about this lifestyle that I have or I can afford. I'm not happy with that, and I want more. And so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to improve or increase my skills, therefore offer something in the marketplace that's going to make me earn money.
Let me throw this at you though. Is it unrealistic for someone to have, because if you say the lifestyle people want, quite naturally everyone's going to go for the yacht, the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that people have that as their lifestyle, or should people downgrade their and just be real that not everyone's going to get a Lamborghini? So not settle for less, but
absolutely. Well, here's the thing: it's not so much the yachts and the Lamborghinis and all these flashy supercars, but it's more about should everyone have a desire for wealth? Should everybody desire more? And the answer is absolutely. I'm of the mindset and the belief that it's nothing wrong for everyone to desire to be a millionaire at the very least, right? And everyone has the power, the capacity, and the ability to become a millionaire. Everyone, absolutely. But when I say everyone, when I think a millionaire, you think £1 million. A millionaire means somebody that ultimately, has £1 million in the bank. You know, if you meet a millionaire that has £1 million in the bank, you know, that's a stupid millionaire. They're not a real millionaire. What I'm really talking about being, you know, and we'll talk about perhaps a little bit later on about what really defines a millionaire. But what I'm talking about is everyone needs to desire to have assets that generate sustainable income that grows and also appreciates in capital in terms of the assets itself over time, that essentially enables you to be free. So going back to what I first said, right? You start by saying, right, what's my purpose in life? What do I really want to achieve in this life? And then you once you kind of, you know, have a rough, very sketchy idea in terms of what your life wants to be like, you then start working backwards and say, look, for example, you know, I want to have a lifestyle that enables me to, I don't know, to be a teacher or to do something and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. And, you know, if that's what you desire to do that, right? The idea of having money is that obviously you need to make money, but you need to have enough wealth that pays you passively, where you're almost like independent, completely separated from the cares of money. And that allows you to be completely focused on your goals, right? So the Office of National Statistics did a study, I think 2016, about how many people actually in their jobs that like what they do. And of 63% of people that are in a role that it's a high level role. In other words, they studied for it, very technical, like your lawyers, wealth managers, very, very technical, perhaps difficult to get kind of roles. Of those jobs, 63% of those people suggest that they don't actually like what they do. You know, so why are they doing that? Because it pays very well. You know, they've got student debt, there's pressure from parents and peers and stuff like that. So they work hard, got themselves into that role, but they can't wait to leave that role. But they can't leave that job. And that's necessary. You know, sometimes you just have to do those things just to get your earnings up and make money but ultimately everyone has this thing what we call retirement. You know, people say, what does retirement look like for you? You go, oh gosh, I can't wait to go fishing, spend more time with the family and kids and stuff like that. This is all part of this thing that we, if you like, in financial planning terms, anyway, it's called purposes goals. You know, these are all the goals in life, what you really want. And the idea is really to kind of think what you want and then try and figure out how much money do you need to sustain that.
Let's stick on that millionaire thought then, because you said anyone who has £1 million in the bank is a stupid millionaire.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so I coined these terms, right? A stupid millionaire and a broke millionaire. So and a true millionaire. So what do I mean by that? So a stupid millionaire, first and foremost, is someone that has, if you like, cash worth £1 million, £1 million plus cash sat in a bank account. So that's somebody literally right now that's all they have, by the way. I'm talking about all their net worth is sat in some savings account. So they've got, I've saved that, I've now got £1 million there. I mean, it's not that many of those, but believe you me, my professional roles and day-to-day job, I've met a few of those. In fact, I met a client once that had £15 million in a current account just sat there. Now, you know, why would you have that, right? Because we all know about inflation, we all know about the current crisis and all the stuff that's happening out there and the macroeconomic developments and stuff like that. And so having £15 million, in fact, having £1 million, and if inflation is at circa 5%, that's like you literally, you know, flushing down £50,000 per annum, you know, down the toilet. To, you know, just to hold that. So that's a stupid millionaire. In other words, you are a millionaire, but you're losing money. A broke millionaire is somebody that actually have $1 million, but the capital is completely tied up. So they're worth $1 million. So an example of that is having that property, let's say worth £2 million, having £1 million mortgage on it. So on equity, you've got an equity in the property worth £1 million, right? So yeah, no one can argue with that. You can say, yeah, I'm a millionaire. And again, there's a lot of people like that, especially in and out around the London area. If you bought properties in the noughties or late 2000s and stuff like that, even in the 90s, right? You would have bought property for absolutely nothing. And then now it's appreciating value, perhaps tenfold and the rest. And now you're sitting on an asset that you maybe paid off and it's worth £1 million. But you don't have £1 million. It started 10. So you can call yourself, rightly so, a millionaire, but you're not a millionaire. And so, in my definition anyway. And so, again, that's what I call a broke millionaire. You're a millionaire by asset base, but you're a broke millionaire in that sense. A true millionaire is someone that has an asset worth £1 million plus, but that asset has three key distinct nature elements to it. Number one is that it generates an income. That's really the real definition of an asset. Something that you own and that pays you. So you get that income coming back into you passively. Also, you get the capital gains. It's able to go up in value. So it can appreciate in value depending on wherever the market situation may be. And the last thing is that you can exit out, that you can sell, you can dispose the assets. So you can sell it for a value, a certain amount, and even add goodwill onto that, for example, right? So if you have these things in there, to me, that's a true distinct asset. So if you look at it, most people that you and I would call millionaires and billionaires that we can think of, they all have one thing in common. They all own businesses, because business has always been one of the best asset classes ever in history, proven over generations, to really advance the economic, the economic empowerment of individuals. And that's been businesses, because you get paid, you get residual income, and therefore you can sell it and down the line, and also it grows in value as well, and you can scale, which is another, I suppose, sub sort of element to that as well. So that's what a true millionaire is. A true millionaire, they build over time, but that thing pays them over time. Yes, you have.
Does the definition change when it's a billion, or the same definition?
Well, because think about it. Everyone that's a billionaire wants to start off a millionaire first. Mm-hmm. So also, very rarely do we find someone that's just going from zero to a billionaire. But I suppose even by them being a billionaire, they are a millionaire as well.
But I mean, like, do you class the definition of a billionaire?
Yeah.
You would still have the same stupid billionaire, broke billionaire, and true billionaire.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing most people don't understand is that, say for example, Elon Musk, who, between him and Jeff Bezos, he's usually, I think I can't remember, was it 2020 or 2021? So every other week they would swap in place in terms of who's number one, in terms of the wealthiest person and stuff. But Elon Musk is really interesting. His assets or his net worth is really interesting. He owns no other individual stocks. No real other portfolios, anything apart from Tesla and SpaceX and all these companies and stuff. And because obviously the market value, so the market cap, i.e. the number of outstanding issued shares times what the value of per share is the market cap of the company, and how much percentage he owns of those companies. So if he owns 20% of I suppose 100 billion, which I think he owns a bit more than that. But if he owns, then his net worth is 20 billion, right? So because of the inflated valuations that's been happening over the last few years and stuff like that, his net worth has gone up, but he can't cash in those shares. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he is not so much like, he's not a stupid billionaire. He's more of a broke billionaire, because he's a billionaire. He's one of the wealthiest persons, but all his assets concentrate in one thing. If something happened and there was an accident and SpaceX or Tesla's not selling anymore because there's competition in the marketplaces and people start dumping those shares, he can quite easily go from literally a billionaire to, a millionaire or something like that in no time. But his real personal asset base it doesn't really have that much. In fact, last time I think it was reported, he just bought a house for like £50,000. Not that I'm saying he can't afford any bigger house than that, but he doesn't actually earn that much or have a lot of diversified portfolios, very, very concentrated. Whereas take someone like Bill Gates. Bill Gates owns farmland galore. He owns huge amounts of estate land. He was one of the biggest shareholders in Caterpillar. This is years ago. I don't know if he's disposed those holdings. He owns a lot of other things, a lot of chemical companies, scientific or research-based companies and that sort of thing. So he is probably one of the things I say, like, at some point he's a true billionaire. Because really, when it comes to wealth, at some point, I have this saying, right, specialize for income, diversify your wealth, right? And that's what I'm saying, is that when it comes to the wealth bit, you just want to kind of diversify the portfolio, right? And it all stems from understanding, first and foremost, what the heck is wealth? What is wealth in the first place? And once you have a good understanding of what wealth is, you want to diversify that portfolio to some extent. But in terms of income, you want to specialize. You want to do very, very good one thing to make a lot of income. So yeah, that does apply as well. Perhaps a really long answer there, but yeah, there is broke billionaires and true billionaires and that stuff. Absolutely.